Okay. So last day we had done with the first colligative property, right? That is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Last day we had done till the first colligative property, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now today we are going to do the remaining three, and then we are going to move forward if the time permits. The the second colligative property, if you can remember, is elevation of boiling point. Is elevation of boiling point. Please understand it. Elevation of boiling point. What is elevation of boiling point? Before understanding that, first of all, we must understand what is boiling point. What is boiling point? Okay. So if you see, if I ask you that what is boiling point, I know that most of you, if not all, are going to give me the answer that the temperature at which the liquid converts into gas is called the boiling point of the liquid. That is what normally you say. Okay. But the answer is not very perfect. Why not very perfect? Because you know, the liquid converts into gas at any temperature. We had seen that can happen through the evaporation also. But boiling means what? I explained that last day also. Boiling means what? That's the whole liquid molecule, that is the molecules in the surface as well as the molecule in the bulk, are converted into the gaseous state. Okay, so that is boiling. Now the next question if I ask is that what is the boiling point of water? The obvious answer that will come at 100 degrees Celsius. That's the obvious answer. Since nobody is there in front of me, so I cannot get the direct interaction. Okay, so the obvious answer that will come is 100 degrees Celsius. But if I ask again that does the water boil at 100 degrees Celsius in hills, you will say no, sir. Then how the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius? That means there is some relationship between the boiling point of water and the atmospheric pressure. Because if the atmospheric pressure changes, the boiling point also changes. Now what is boiling point then? It's nothing. See, it's very simple. Boiling point is nothing. It's the temperature. Now whenever suppose some liquid has been taken, some water has been taken or any other liquid has been taken, okay, we want to boil it, we have to heat it. If we heat it, if we increase the temperature, obviously its vapor pressure will increase. We know that the vapor pressure will increase. Now as we increase the temperature, vapor pressure will increase to a certain extent, and one time will come when that vapor pressure of the liquid will become equal to the atmospheric pressure. That will become equal to the atmospheric pressure at that particular temperature. At that particular temperature where the vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure, the liquid boils. That temperature is called the boiling point of water. So what is boiling point of water? The temperature at which the vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Okay. Now we know this graph. Please understand this. Please understand this. After that, nothing is there. We know this graph. Vapor pressure graph or vapor pressure curve. We plot vapor pressure versus temperature. This is how vapor pressure is increasing for the solvent, pure solvent, and this is how the vapor pressure is increasing for the solution. We know that if we add non-volatile solute, this is how the vapor pressure is increasing. That we know. Okay. Now the thing is that suppose I have taken certain amount of water, only water I had taken, and I had taken the water at 25 degrees Celsius. At 25 degrees Celsius. Fine. So at 25 degrees Celsius, it will have certain vapor pressure. Let at 25 degrees Celsius, this is 25 degrees Celsius, at 25 degrees Celsius, the water has vapor pressure this much. This much is the vapor pressure. I want to boil it. I want to boil the water. So obviously I have to increase the temperature. I am increasing the temperature, its vapor pressure is increasing. Vapor pressure is increasing. One time will come when, suppose this is atmospheric pressure. This is atmospheric pressure where we are boiling it. Okay. one time will come when the atmospheric pressure, the vapor pressure will become equal to the atmospheric pressure. Vapor pressure increase हो रहा है, vapor pressure is increasing, and one time will come when the vapor pressure will become equal to the atmospheric pressure. At that particular temperature, the liquid will boil. So this is the boiling point of what? This is the boiling point of pure water, which is represented by TB, capital T suffix B. Now, so I hope you understood that what is boiling point. Again I am repeating. What is boiling point? Boiling point is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the liquid, becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Okay. So let the atmospheric pressure is this much. And we know the vapor pressure curve. Okay, this is for pure solvent. This is for solution of non-volatile solute. We know this. Now, what I am saying is that suppose I have taken certain amount of water at 25 degrees Celsius, where the atmospheric pressure is this, and the vapor pressure at 25 degrees Celsius is this much. I want to boil it. If I want to boil it, I have to increase the temperature. I am increasing the temperature. The vapor pressure is increasing. One time will come when its vapor pressure will become equal to atmospheric pressure. At that particular temperature, this is the temperature, this much is the temperature. At that particular temperature, the liquid will boil. And this is the boiling point of the pure solvent. Okay? We are representing it by TB. Now what we are doing? Now in the same water, we are adding certain amount of sugar. Suppose 1 teaspoon of sugar we are adding. 1 teaspoon of sugar we are adding. Sugar I am saying it can be any non-volatile solute. Okay, which I am adding, and I am making it a solution. 1 teaspoon of sugar I had added. As soon as I added 1 teaspoon of sugar at 25 degrees Celsius in the same amount of water, we know that its vapor pressure is lowered. We have studied that already. The vapor pressure is lowered. So vapor pressure was this much. Now the vapor pressure is this much. This is the vapor pressure of the solution now. Fine. Now I want to boil the solution. So I have to heat it. I am heating it. Its vapor pressure is increasing. We reached to that temperature where the water boiled. Will the solution boil? The answer is no. The solution won't boil. Why the solution won't boil? The solution won't boil because why? The solution won't boil because the vapor pressure of this solution is not equal to the atmospheric pressure yet. I told boiling point means the vapor pressure of the liquid must be equal to atmospheric pressure. So we have to increase the temperature further so that its vapor pressure is increasing further. One time will come when its vapor pressure will become equal to the atmospheric pressure. At that particular temperature means this temperature. At this temperature, the solution will boil, and let that be the boiling point of the solution, and we represent it by dV dash. Okay. So what is happening to the boiling point of solution? The boiling point of solution is elevated. Whatever was the boiling point of water, the boiling point of the solution of the non-volatile solute is more than that. Clear? And this particular phenomenon is called the elevation of boiling point. I hope you understood that. Okay? That what is, once again I am saying, what is boiling point? Please understand it. What is boiling point? It's the temperature, because you are joining late. Don't join late, join on time. If you are joining online, please join on time. We are starting the classes at that time. So, when the vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure, the temperature at which it happens, that is the boiling point of the, yes, got it? बोर्ड तो देखा जाएगा ना, बोर्ड केमन করে দেখা যাবে, আসবে না তো बोर्ड কেমন করে দেখা যাবে পরে you will see the video. You zoom it. If you see it in mobile, you cannot see the board. If you are doing the class in mobile, you cannot see the board. है ना? Laptop you can see, you just board করে না আমারটা তাহলেই হয়ে যাবে. Okay. So if the vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure at that particular time, or at that particular temperature, the liquid will boil. So this is the boiling point of what? This is the boiling point of the pure solvent. But whenever we are making the solution, is vapor pressure is lowered, we are increasing the temperature. When we reach to the temperature where the solvent boiled, the solution is not going to boil. Okay, we have to increase the temperature further. At one temperature, it will become equal to atmospheric pressure. At that particular temperature, what will boil? The solution will boil. That is the boiling point of the solution. So boiling point of solution is elevated. If you cannot see the board also, at least you can understand that, so that in the evening only you will get the video, then you can understand it better. Okay, so videos I am doing already, you can see that. Okay, so that you will get it. Board visibility obviously will be less over here in the live classes. It has to be less. Okay, so this is your elevation of boiling point. Now how much it is elevated? How much it is increased? It is increased by Tb dash minus Tb. This much it is increased. This much the temperature is increased. What is the value of this? This is nothing but Tb dash minus Tb. Yes. So the elevation of boiling point is nothing but Tb dash minus Tb, which we represent by delta Tb. That is elevation of boiling point. Fine. So what is the elevation of boiling point? All of us understood that. Now tell me that if in this solution, in place of 1 teaspoon of sugar, if I add 2 teaspoon of sugar, means if we add more sugar, means if we make the concentration of the solution more, its vapor pressure will be lowered more. The vapor pressure lowering will be more. Yes. So even at this particular temperature where the first solution boil, it won't boil. It will boil at further higher temperature. That means the elevation of boiling point will be increased. The elevation of the boiling point will be increased further. Further it will increase. Yes or not? It will increase further. Did you get it or not? Yes. So the elevation of boiling point depends on the concentration of the solution. More the concentration, more is the elevation of boiling point. Yes, and that was experimented by a number of solutions with a number of concentrations by a scientist called Raoult, and he gave a relationship, or he gave a law, okay, which is known as, again, Raoult's law. You know the name already. Raoult's law of elevation of boiling point. Elevation of boiling point. Raoult's law for elevation of boiling point. What he said is that the elevation of boiling point, what he found rather, and then finally he came to the law, elevation of boiling point, that is delta Tb. Delta Tb is nothing but what? Tb dash minus Tb. What is Tb dash? Tb dash is nothing but the boiling point of the solution, and the Tb is nothing but the boiling point of the pure solvent. Is directly proportional to, this delta Tb is directly proportional to the directly proportional to the concentration of the solution in molality. He found it, concentration of solution in molality, in the unit of molality. Okay, so delta Tb is directly proportional to small m, nothing else. That's the Raoult's law. Now we'll just deduce it a little bit. So delta Tb is equal to some constant. We write the constant as Kb into m. Kb into m. You can do with me also. That will be a practice for you. Okay, you can open your copy and do it with me. Delta Tb is equal to Kb into m, where Kb is the proportionality constant. Now what is Kb, or what is Kb called? Let us see that. What is Kb called? Kb is nothing but, now see it, I am just going to do it mathematically first, and then you can say it. In words. At m is equal to 1, means when the concentration of the solution in molality is 1. When the concentration of solution in molality is 1. Okay? Can I write delta Tb is equal to Kb? Can I write mathematically this one? If m is equal to 1, delta Tb is equal to Kb. Now whatever we had written mathematically, we are going to tell it in words. So Kb is nothing but the elevation of boiling point. It is nothing but the elevation of boiling point when the concentration of the solution is 1 molal. When the concentration of the solution is 1 molal. Kb is nothing but the elevation of boiling point when the concentration of the solution is 1 molal, and hence Kb is also called molal elevation of boiling point. Molal elevation of boiling point. Molal elevation of boiling point. Kb is also known as molal elevation of boiling point. Fine. So this equation is represented now as delta Tb. I am writing it further. Delta Tb is equal to Kb into m. And what is m? What is molality? We know what is molality. We already had seen the expression for molality. That is equal to Kb into, if you can remember, that is 1000 W2 divided by W1 into M2. We had done already molality concentration, molality expression. What is W2? W2 is mass of solute. W2 is mass of solute. W1 is mass of solvent, obviously in gram. And M2 is what? M2 is molar mass of solute. M2 is molar mass of solute. So this is the expression for what? This is the expression for the elevation of boiling point. And obviously, what is delta Tb? Delta Tb is nothing but Tb dash minus Tb. Now, what is Tb dash? What is Tb dash? Tb dash is the boiling point of the solution, and the Tb is what? Tb is the boiling point of the pure solvent. Okay, fine. Now you do one numerical, then the concept will be much more clear. Chalo, likho. Just write it down. Boiling point of water at 750 millimeter of mercury. Boiling point of water at 750 millimeter of mercury is 99.63 degrees Celsius. Is 99.63 degrees Celsius. Full stop. How much sucrose within brackets you write C12H22O11. Sucrose means what? C12H22O11 is to be added to 500 gram of water, such that the solution boils at 100 degrees Celsius. The solution boils at 100 degrees Celsius given Kb for water equal to 0.52 Kelvin kg mole inverse. That's the unit of Kb only, which is molar elevation of boiling point. Kb which is a constant, Kb is equal to 0.52 Kelvin kg mole inverse. Read the question nicely. First, read the question nicely. Nothing is there. Read the question nicely. Tell me, the solution is of what? What is the solute? What is the solvent? Tell me that first. Sucrose in water. Okay, so that's the solution. The solution is sucrose in water. Fine. Now, this question is related to which property? This is related to obviously elevation of boiling point. I am teaching elevation of boiling point. I am giving you the problems elevation of boiling point. Otherwise, you have to understand that this is related to elevation of boiling point. They talked about the boiling point and also obviously this is elevation of boiling point related to. These are the first two things you must understand from the question. Because in the question paper, it won't be like that I will teach you elevation of boiling point and then the question will be asked. It can come from anywhere, so you must understand from where it had come. Clear? Now tell me what is given. One after another, you just tell me what is given. And keep on writing that, keep on framing it. What is given? What is the first sentence? Tell me, what is the first sentence? Boiling point of water at 750 mm of mercury, that is not important for us, pressure is not important for us, that is the condition, is how much? So boiling point of water means TB, that's boiling point of pure water, is equal to how much? 99.63 degrees Celsius. If you wish, you can convert it into Kelvin also. You can convert it into Kelvin also if you wish. That's the first point given. Then next one. Continue reading. What is there? So sucrose, amount of sucrose you have to find out. You have to find out amount of sucrose. That means W2 equal to question mark, right? You have to find it out. How much sucrose has to be added to 500 gram of water? That means amount of solvent is 500 gram, right? Okay, fine. Then such that the solution boils means Tb dash, right, equal to 100 degrees Celsius, equal to 100 degrees Celsius, and Kb is also given. Kb is equal to 0.52 Kelvin kg mole inverse. Is that the question or not? First you tell me that. Is that the question? The question is this one only? Yes, this is the question. Yes or not? I just framed the question. Now one thing, be very careful of this. Now if I ask you what is delta Tb, already it's written over here. What is delta Tb? Tb dash minus Tb. So Tb dash minus Tb is 100 minus 99.63, right? 100 minus 99.63. So you can write it like that, 100 minus 99.63, that is equal to 0.37. Okay? Now see, if I told that you could have converted into Kelvin, you could have converted into Kelvin. If you would have converted into Kelvin, it would have been 99.63 plus 273, right? This much Kelvin. And if you have converted this into Kelvin, it is 100 plus 273 Kelvin. Now, if you just subtract them, means Tb dash minus Tb, the value will be still 100 minus 99.63. Because in both the cases you added 270. That is one very important point I am saying, that if the change in temperature, that is elevation of boiling point in this particular case, is given in degrees Celsius, exactly the same value will be there in Kelvin. So degree Celsius and Kelvin has got the same value for the change in temperature, not the temperature. Temperature will be different. Obviously it will be plus 273. But whenever you are changing them, means subtracting them, this 273 will be cancelled out, right? So the change in degree Celsius or change in Kelvin is exactly same. Okay? So don't worry about that. So you can write that delta Tb is equal to 0.37 Kelvin, right? So delta Tb is equal to 0.37 Kelvin. Now is there any problem in doing this particular numerical? See, everything is given. Delta Tb is known to you. W1 is known, Kb is known, and what else you must know? M2, right? What else you must know? You must know M2. This is the equation, right? M2 means what? M2 means the mass of solute. What is solute? It holds sucrose, and the molecular formula is given to you. Did you calculate it? Yes. Bata, how much? Sucrose C12, H22, O11. Calculate it. C is carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1, and oxygen is 16. So what is the molar mass of sucrose? How much is coming? बताओ, फटाफट। यस, C12 इतना टाइम क्यों लग रहा है भाई? कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है आप लोग? C12 H22O11, what is the molar mass of sucrose?
Sir, 342.
Okay, 342. So it is 342 gram, right? Obviously it must be in gram, the molar mass must be in gram. So you know everything now, and you can very easily calculate that. You can very easily calculate that value of W2, and W2 will come in gram. Yes, is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? Yes or not? Yes or not? Tell me. Elevation of boiling point is clear? अरे बोल तो कुछ। Nothing is coming out. This is what is making a problem in the online classes. You know, no response, nothing. I cannot see the face. What you are doing, you only know. Anyway, chalo, at least to see the recording afterwards, and hope you will understand that. The next one is depression of freezing point. Next colligative property is depression of freezing point. Depression of freezing point. Now, what is freezing point? First of all, again, we must know before depression of freezing point, what is freezing point? Freezing means what? When the liquid is solidified, right? Liquid is solidified. Fine. Now, when a liquid solidifies, when the vapor pressure of the liquid, again this is related to vapor pressure. Vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to the vapor pressure of the solid. The temperature at which the vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to the vapor pressure of the solid, at that temperature the liquid freezes, and that's the freezing point of the liquid. Now again we are going to understand it graphically first, then we will go to the mathematical part of it. Again we are going to draw the vapor pressure curve. This is for solvent and this is for solution. All of you know this. This is vapor pressure we are plotting over here, and here we are plotting temperature. And this one is the vapor pressure curve which is also increasing. This is the vapor pressure curve for the solid. For the solid vapor pressure is also increasing with the increasing temperature. For example, suppose this is water in sugar, and this is the vapor pressure curve for ice. Okay. Now I have taken certain amount of water and at 25 degrees Celsius, and I want to freeze it. At 25 degrees Celsius, suppose this is the vapor pressure of the water, I want to freeze it. What has to be done? We have to cool it, right? We have to cool it. So we are cooling it, its vapor pressure is decreasing. One time will come when it will become equal to the vapor pressure of the solid. Yes, at that particular temperature, the water will freeze, and that is called the freezing point of the pure solvent. That is the freezing point of the pure solvent, and we are representing it by TF, almost similar as the previous one, TF. Now what we did, in water I had added some sugar. So the vapor pressure from here it is decreased to here, right? Vapor pressure is decreased. Clear? Now I want to freeze this. I want to freeze what? I want to freeze the solution. I am decreasing the temperature. I reached to the temperature at which the water froze. Will it freeze? No. Why not? Because still it is not equal to the vapor pressure of the solid. It has to be equal to the vapor pressure of the solid. So you have to decrease the temperature further. Okay? At one temperature will come when it will become equal to the vapor pressure of the solid. At that particular temperature, the solution will freeze. And this is the freezing point of the solution, which we represent by TF dash. So what is happening to the freezing point of the solution? The freezing point of the solution is depressed. Depressed means lowered. Okay, it is decreasing. Okay, because of non-volatile solute, the freezing point of the solution is depressed. How much it is depressed? How much it is depressed? Again in the same way, delta TF is equal to how much it is depressed? Now it is TF minus TF dash, right? TF minus TF dash. Okay, TF minus TF dash. Same way, exactly similar now. Exactly similar. TF minus TF dash. Again, if I add the concentration, if we increase the concentration of the solution, the depression will be more. And again, the same fellow Raoult, he found the relationship between depression of freezing point and the concentration as he found for the elevation of boiling point and the concentration, exactly in the similar manner. Okay, so what he found, what relationship he found is that delta TF, that is depression of freezing point, delta TF is directly proportional to the concentration of the solution in molality. Exactly same. Exactly same. And what is delta TF? You already know. Delta TF is equal to what? TF minus TF dash. Delta TF is directly proportional to concentration of the solution in molality. Okay, that is small m. So you can write delta TF is equal to some constant, and now we are going to write down the constant as Kf into m. Yes. What is Kf? Again in the same way, right? If m is equal to 1, delta Tf is equal to Kf. So Kf is nothing but the depression of freezing point when the concentration of the solution is 1 molar, and hence Kf is called molar depression of freezing point. Molar depression of freezing point, Kf is known as. And this equation becomes what? Now we are just going to replace m by, as we replaced 1000, because you know the expression for this, 1000 W2 divided by W1 into M2. So delta TF is equal to this. Okay, exactly similar, and delta TF is equal to this. Okay, these are the two equations. Delta TF is TF minus TF dash, obviously, and the final equation for delta TF for Raoult's law is what? Delta TF is equal to Kf into 1000 W2 divided by W1 into M2. Okay, fine. Now again do a numerical related to the depression of freezing point, the third colligative property. Right? Same way. Calculate the mass of vitamin C. Calculate the mass of vitamin C. Calculate the mass of vitamin C. Within bracket you write C6H8O6. C6H8O6. That's the molecular formula of vitamin C, which is actually ascorbic acid, that you will know afterwards, but at this moment you just know this is vitamin C. To be dissolved in 75 gram of acetic acid. To be dissolved in 75 gram of acetic acid to lower its melting point. To lower its melting point or freezing point, whatever you say, same thing. To lower its melting point by 1.5 degrees Celsius, by 1.5 degrees Celsius, given Kf for acetic acid equal to, right? Kf for acetic acid equal to 3.9 Kelvin kg mole inverse. 3.9 Kelvin kg mole inverse. Okay, now please read the problem again. I'll ask you and then we will say. And the online students, if the time gets over in the meantime, just 2 minutes is left, then you join with the same ID password again. Okay, with the same ID password you will join again. You read it? Tell me what is the solution? Solute क्या है? Solvent क्या है? What is the solute? What is the solvent? Tell me. Vitamin C in acetic acid. Very good. Vitamin C in acetic acid is the solution, right? And this question is obviously related to what? This question is obviously related to the depression of freezing point. Yes? Now keep on writing whatever is given. Keep on writing that. Keep on writing that, and you people join and will tell me. Okay? Join in the next meeting. Its time is over. So I'm just ending this meeting and I'm starting another meeting. Please join in that with the same ID password. We will finish up the theory part today, then the numericals and the other questions we are going to do next day. Then this chapter will be finished also. Okay? Some more numericals, obviously we are doing some, and some more numericals and some other questions we are going to do, next day. Then this chapter will be over only, because we are going to finish the theory by today itself. Now one more property is left and little bit is left. So that both of them we are going to do. Now tell me, what is given? What is the question? What is given? Tell me. Calculate the mass of vitamin C. That means you have to calculate the mass of what? You have to calculate the mass of the solute, right? You have to calculate the mass of the solute. Yes? So again, W2 equal to question mark, right? Yes? Then vitamin C is given. That means M2 we can find out. Can we find out the value of M2? Find it out. How much is M2? The molecular formula is given to you, so you just get it. What is the value of M2? What is the value of M2? You find it out. The molecular formula is already given. First thing, W2 you have to find out. Then M2 is equal to how much? Just calculate it and tell me what is the value of M2. The molecular formula is given, just calculate and tell. What is the molecular formula given is C6H8O6, right? I don't know, just calculate it. 176. Did you get it as 176? Anvesha? Yes? Okay. Fine. So M2 is equal to 176 gram. Fine. So that's M2. Then next. So the depression of freezing point is given, right? Depression of freezing point is given. Delta TF is given. Delta TF is how much? 1.5 degrees Celsius or Kelvin, the same, right? Why same? You understood that because the difference in degrees Celsius or difference in Kelvin is same. Here we are writing the difference. So don't. This is the mistake the students are doing. It's given 1.5 degrees Celsius. They change it into Kelvin. Gone. Don't change it into Kelvin because 1.5 degrees Celsius difference means 1.5 Kelvin difference. Okay? Fine. Then what else? Kf is given. And W1 3.9 Kelvin kg mole in percent. W1 it must be given. What is told? Calculate the mass of the ascorbic dissolved in 75 gram of acetic acid is not told. Dissolved in 75 gram of acetic acid. That means the mass of solvent is how much? The mass of solvent is 75 gram. Yes, mass of solvent is 75 gram. Okay, then to lower the melting point by 1.5 degrees Celsius and Kf is given. Now what is the equation? So this is the question. Simply I framed the question. Now what is the equation? Delta Tf equal to Kf into 1000 W2 divided by W1 into M2. See, everything is given. Can you find out the value of W2? Yes, everything is known to us. Can you find out the value of W2? It will come in graph and we can do it. Is it clear? Bata, is it clear? Pratyusha? Clear? Yes? Rajarshi? You can solve it out, right? Okay, you can solve it out. Now, next one is, the next or the last colligative property is osmotic pressure. Last colligative property is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. Now there are so many biology students. Osmotic pressure. Before going to osmotic pressure, first of all we must understand the incidence of osmosis. I think all biology students know about it. What is osmosis? Please tell me what is osmosis. बता मेरे को. अभी कोई यहाँ पे है नहीं, कान पकड़ नहीं सकता. बताओ. Srishti, tell me, what is osmosis? A little louder, I cannot listen anything. Could not listen anything. I got one. What is osmosis?
So osmosis is the movement of particles of a semi-particle medium from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration.
Okay, so what she said and what I understood is that osmosis is the movement of particles. If I am wrong, if I have heard you wrong, you will rectify me. Osmosis is the movement of particles. I am just taking the keywords. Okay, through semi-permeable membrane from lower concentration to higher concentration. Lower concentration to higher concentration. Okay, that is what Srishti told. Anybody disagree to that? Will you tell me? आप disagree करते हो क्या है? What is osmosis? Okay, so here Palakshi is sitting. She is saying it is not lower to higher, it is higher concentration to lower concentration. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to say something? Disagree with this? With any one of this? Yes? Srishti, you want to change? Palakshi, want to change? No. Nobody wants to change. You want to stick in your own this thing. Now listen to me very carefully. This confusion happens because of the lack of concept, just because of lack of concept, nothing else. Because if I ask you what is semi-permeable membrane, you cannot say what is semi-permeable membrane. If I ask you why did you say particles, you don't know. You just mugged up, somebody told you, somebody taught you. I am not naming anybody. And you mugged up and you are writing, maybe you are getting the marks also because the person who taught you, he or she also doesn't know what is it. Okay? So the concept should be very, very clear. See it over here. Okay, please understand it. Please understand it. All this confusion will go. Then you are not going to say ever any wrong thing. We have taken a container like this, suppose we have taken a container like this, a U-tube kind of container, okay, where two sides of this container is separated by a membrane. We have put a membrane which is called semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Semi means what? What do you understand by semi? All of you know the word semi-final. What is that? Semi-final means half final. Semi-final means half final, half. Half, semi means half, hemi means a half. Okay, hemisphere, half of the sphere. Yes, semi means half, permeable. See, each word has what meaning. Permeable, permitted. Permeable means permitted. Membrane, the membrane is permitting only half part. Only half part. In a solution, there are two parts, solute and solvent. Solute and solvent is there. Through this semi-permeable membrane, only the solvent molecules can flow. So it's the passage of solvent molecules, not the particles. First of all, Srishti and others also. It's not particles, it's the passage of solvent molecules, because semi-permeable membrane is allowing only the flow of what? Only the flow of the solvent molecules. First thing. Second, now there are two solutions that is kept in the two sides of the semi-permeable membrane. Two solutions are kept in the two sides of the semi-permeable membrane. Suppose the concentration of this one is C1 and the concentration of this is C2. Two different concentrations. Let C1 be 10, let C1 be 10 and C2 be 5. Clear? First of all, the osmosis is a natural process that happens naturally. Now naturally क्या होना चाहिए? क्या होना चाहिए? एक का कंसंट्रेशन 10 है, एक का कंसंट्रेशन 5 है, राइट? क्या होना क्या चाहिए नेचुरली? दोनों का इक्वल होना चाहिए. After certain time, both the concentration will become same. How it can become same? The concentration of this has to increase. 5 से 6 होगा, 6 से 7 होगा, है ना? And concentration of this has to decrease. 10 से 9 होगा, 9 से 8 होगा, एक जगह आएगा when they will become same. Yes. Now, how the concentration of 10 can decrease? First, you tell me. Concentration of any solution, how it can be decreased? By adding water or by taking water? Concentration of any solution, how it can be decreased? By adding water or by taking water? Decrease करना है. बताओ. चीनी और पानी है, उसका concentration decrease करना है. What we will do? Will add water or will take water? कैसे decrease करेंगे? Simple question. Add water. So we can decrease the concentration by adding water, right? Okay. So यहाँ पे add होना है, right? 10 में water add होना है, yes. और 5 से क्या होना है? Water निकालना है, right? If the water goes out from 5, then the concentration will increase. चीनी ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. Yes or not? Okay, the water should flow. From where to where the water should flow? The water should flow from here to here. From here to here, right? Yes or not? Okay, that means from which concentration to which concentration? From the lower concentration to the higher concentration. Yes? So, what is osmosis? First I am telling you, then I am telling that where the biology where I won't say that Palakshi is also wrong, because in biology book it's written like that, but you did not read the whole sentence. That is why the problem is there. Okay? And as I told, your teacher doesn't know what he or she is teaching. So, what is there? Two solutions of different concentrations are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. Clear? Okay? By natural process, the water molecule or the solvent molecules, let me say, the solvent molecules will flow from lower concentration to the higher concentration till the concentration of both the solution becomes equal. This particular process is called osmosis. Simple. This particular process, why everything is happening, you understood that. Semi-permeable membrane means what? Which is allowing only the flow of the solvent molecules. That is what is osmosis is. Okay. Now in biology book it is written that a higher concentration of water to lower concentration of water, you missed that word. Higher concentration of water to lower concentration of, lower concentration of water क्या है? नहीं, हायर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर टू लोअर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर. ओके, हायर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर क्या है? व्हाट इज हायर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर? Higher concentration of water means dilute solution, right? Higher concentration of water, the amount of water is more, means what? Dilute solution. The concentration is low. Yes? To lower concentration of water means concentrated solution. Understood that? That higher concentration of water, the students forget or they don't know maybe. If you say higher concentration of water to lower concentration of water, it's absolutely correct. Clear? If you say only concentration, it must be from lower concentration to the higher concentration. It must be from lower concentration of solution to the higher concentration of solution. A simple thing, but the concept should be very clear. Okay? So that is osmosis. That is osmosis. Now, this water molecule, all the solvent molecules are flowing from this side to this side with certain pressure. Now suppose I am applying and let the pressure be 7. Let the pressure by which the water molecules are flowing be 7. Now I am applying certain pressure from outside in the opposite direction. बाहर से opposite direction में I am applying certain amount of pressure. Suppose I am applying pressure 5. I am applying pressure 5 from outside. Still the water molecules will flow because it was flowing with pressure 7. Okay, but the pressure will become less. Yes, still the water molecule will flow. Now I am increasing the outside pressure, external pressure, and I am making it 7. I am making it 7. The external pressure is getting 7. Clear? When the external pressure is getting 7, the osmosis will stop. The natural process will stop. It is trying to come with pressure 7. And I am giving some opposite pressure, external pressure from outside 7, but I am stopping the process. Clear? This external pressure, which is required to just, very important word, just stop the osmosis, is called the osmotic pressure. Okay? What is this? This is the minimum pressure which is required to just stop the osmosis is called the osmotic pressure. And this osmotic pressure is denoted by pi, capital Pi. We write it like this. Capital Pi. Capital Pi is the osmotic pressure. Okay, so what is osmotic pressure? Osmotic pressure is nothing but the external pressure that is required to just stop the osmosis. Fine. Now I am applying the external pressure 10. What will happen? यहाँ से with pressure 7 the water is trying to come and I am applying some external pressure which is higher than the osmotic pressure. What will happen? The water molecule now start flowing in the opposite direction. Yes? The water molecule जबरदस्ती मैं उसको उधर में भेज रहा हूँ. Yes or not? By applying the pressure. This is certainly not natural process and that is what is known as, this particular process is known as reverse osmosis. All of you know RO. आजकल होता है ना, RO, Kent RO, AquaGuard RO. Okay, RO is what? That is nothing but reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis, where the external pressure is more than the osmotic pressure, so that the water is flowing in the opposite direction. We are jabardasti making it to flow in the opposite direction. And by this process of reverse osmosis or RO, what can we do? You know, in the coastal areas, there is scarcity of the drinking water. In the coastal areas, there is a huge scarcity of drinking water. But though there is a huge lot of water in sea, and the sea water is there, saline water is there, but there is very much scarcity in the drinking water. So they make the drinking water by reverse osmosis. There are so many reverse osmosis plants are there, whose principle I am trying to say. Obviously, this is not the plant. This is just the principle I am going to say. What happens? Here in this case, I take little bit of water. In this side, I take little bit of drinking water. Just थोड़ा सा drinking water हम लोग लेते हैं एक साइड में, और एक साइड में हम लोग भर देते हैं समुद्र का पानी से. It's saline water. It's saline water. Okay, समुद्र का पानी. Then we apply a pressure over here which is greater than the osmotic pressure. We apply a pressure over here which is greater than the osmotic pressure. So what happens? The water molecules flow to this side, right? Leaving the salted part over here, right? Only the water molecules comes over here. So we can collect what? We can collect the drinking water. And they use this particular process of reverse osmosis for their drinking water. Okay, I hope you understood what is osmosis, what is osmotic pressure, what is reverse osmosis. Yes. Now what scientists call Van Hoff, okay, call Van Hoff, he experimented with a lot of solution. He experimented the osmotic pressure, Van Hoff, we write it like this, okay, who experimented with a lot of solution of lot of concentration, and he concluded with two laws of osmotic pressure, simply two laws of osmotic pressure, which are known as Van Hoff's laws of osmotic pressure. The first of them is the osmotic pressure of a solution. The osmotic pressure of, by the way, before that let me just tell you, we can find out, we can calculate, or we can measure the osmotic pressure of a solution by different methods. Out of that, though it is not in your syllabus, I am just telling you for your information. That particular method is known as Pfeffer's method. Pfeffer's method. Okay, this is one method by which you can measure the osmotic pressure of any solution. Now suppose there are three solutions. One more term I am just telling you. Sometimes this question comes. There are three solutions whose osmotic pressures are measured. Solution A, solution B, solution C, whose osmotic pressures are measured. Suppose the osmotic pressure of this is 5, measured as 5. You can measure it very easily by Pfeffer's method. The osmotic pressure of this is 7 and the osmotic pressure of this is 8. Just suppose. Okay. So if we compare between A and B, the osmotic pressure of A is less than that of B. If it is less than that of B, we call it hypotonic solution. We call it hypotonic solution. Okay. If it is greater than in comparison to the other, then we call it hypertonic solution. Hypertonic solution. Hypertonic solution. Okay. So now tell me, A is hypotonic with respect to B. B is hypertonic with respect to A. But B is hypotonic with respect to C. B is hypotonic with respect to C. I am tall or short. That does depend on with whom I am comparing. In comparison to somebody I may be tall, but in comparison to somebody I may be short. You cannot say somebody short or tall, right? Until and unless you are comparing with someone. So exactly like that, hypotonic or hypertonic, you cannot say this solution is hypotonic or this solution is hypertonic. It has to be a comparable value. It has to be compared with someone. Okay? And if it is found that two solutions of same osmotic pressure value, then we call them isotonic solutions. So I introduced three terms: hypertonic, hypotonic, and isotonic. Hypertonic means what? The osmotic pressure value is more in comparison to the other. Hypotonic means what? The osmotic pressure is less in comparison to the other. And isotonic means what? The osmotic pressure is equal of both the cases. Okay? Now as I told, I am coming to Van Hoff equations or Van Hoff laws. The first law he says is that the osmotic pressure of a solution is directly proportional to the concentration of the solution in molarity. In molarity now, RT, okay? In molarity at constant temperature. That's the first law. That pi is directly proportional to concentration in molarity. Molarity means number of moles of solute by volume of the solution in liter. Okay? In molarity at constant temperature. That's the first law. The second law he found is that pi, that is osmotic pressure, is directly proportional to the temperature of the solution in Kelvin. Temperature in Kelvin. You must know this, temperature in Kelvin. Just like Charles' law. Okay? Temperature in Kelvin. Provided the concentration is constant. At C constant or at constant concentration. If the concentration is kept constant, it does depend on temperature. If the temperature is kept constant, it does depend on the concentration. But concentration in which unit? Concentration in the unit of molarity. Now if we just add these two equations, then what? Add means not addition. If we just connect these two equations, then what will happen? If we combine these two equations, we are going to get pi is directly proportional to C into T. Yes? So you can write pi is equal to some constant into C into T. Pi is equal to some constant into C into T. And very surprisingly, that constant he found is nothing but ideal gas constant. Is nothing but ideal gas constant, that is R. So the equation becomes pi is equal to C into R into T, or R C T, whatever you write it. Okay? Pi is equal to C into R into T. Now what is C? I'll modify it. Okay? What is C? C I told is the concentration in molarity. So pi is equal to, molarity means what? Number of moles of solute by volume. Number of moles of solute by volume, right? Into R into T. Now number of moles of solute means what? Number of moles of solute means nothing but W2 divided by M2. Okay? This is the final equation for the osmotic pressure. So osmotic pressure of a solution equal to what? Osmotic pressure of a solution is equal to mass of the solute into R into temperature in Kelvin divided by M2, that is molar mass in gram, and volume in liter. Obviously volume is in liter. Okay? So this is all about osmotic pressure. Now one numerical related to osmotic pressure. Chalo, likho. Calculate the osmotic pressure in pascals. You must know the relationship between atmosphere, pascals and torr. Okay, please check it out. I am not going to say that. Atmosphere, all other equations, all other units for pressure. Atmosphere, pascal and torr, as well as bar also. Okay, so right, calculate the osmotic pressure in pascals exerted by a solution. Pascals exerted by a solution prepared by dissolving 1 gram of a polymer, 1 gram of a polymer of molecular mass 185,000. Okay, of molecular mass 185,000 gram in 450 milliliter of water, in 450 milliliter of water at 37 degrees Celsius, at 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, chalo, read the question first. You can do it, there is nothing tough is there. Read the question first. Okay, what is the solution? Tell me, what is the solution? Solution क्या है? Solution polymer. Some polymer is there in water, right? Some polymer is there in water, and this is the question related to osmotic pressure. That also we know, right? Okay. What is given now? Tell me, what is given? Calculate the osmotic pressure. So that means we have to find out pi, right? In Pascal. Okay? That is one thing that is given specifically in Pascal. They mention the unit. Okay? Then so 1 gram of polymer means the amount of solute is 1 gram, right? Amount of solute is 1 gram. Fine? Yes? Then of molar mass M2 equal to 185,000, right? Gram. Of molar mass 185,000 gram. Fine? Okay. Then in 450 ml of water, that means V is equal to what? 450 ml. Volume is 450 ml. Must be in liter, as I told. That is equal to 0.45 liter. Yes? 450 ml means 45 liter. Is that the question? T. Temperature is given. Temperature equal to how much given? 37. 37 degrees Celsius is given, but I told that it must be in Kelvin. Okay, so 37 plus 273 Kelvin, that is equal to 310 Kelvin. What else you must know in the equation? We know pi is equal to what? Pi is equal to W2 RT divided by M2 into V. See, you know W2, you know M2, you know V, you know T. So you must know the value of R. The value of R must be known to us. R, in this particular case, in case of osmotic pressure, we are going to take the value in liter atmosphere. In the unit of liter atmosphere, because the volume unit is given in liter and the pressure we will get in atmosphere. Pressure we will get in atmosphere. Be careful of that. Okay. In liter atmosphere, the value of R is 0.082. 0.082. You know this, in class 11 we had done it. 0.082 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. That's the value of R. Fine. If we put all these values, can I get the value of pi? You tell me, can I get the value of pi? Yes or not? We can get the value of pi, but the value of pi we are going to get in whatever value we are going to get. Whatever value we are going to get, we are going to get in atmosphere. We are going to get in atmosphere because the value of R we are taking in liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. So the pressure we are going to get in the unit of atmosphere, but here the question is asked in Pascal. You have to find out. So you must know the relationship between atmosphere and Pascal. Will you do it? Will you do it or not? You tell me. 10 to the power 5 10 to the power 5 Pascal equal to 1 atmosphere. 10 to the power 5 Pascal equal to 1 atmosphere, and we can very easily calculate or convert the atmosphere into Pascal. Is it clear? Clear or not? You tell me that first. Clear? Yes? Yes? हाँ कि नहीं भाई? Yes or not? You can do it. You have to do it rather. Okay? The one more small topic is left. I am not teaching you today this one. That is abnormal behavior. That will take hardly 5 minutes time, and we are going to solve the questions. But what I will request you is that please study the whole theory. Study the whole theory excepting abnormal behavior. Abnormal behavior. Okay? This I knowingly I am not teaching you today. I could have taught, but I am not teaching you. Let us not make it too much complicated. So just get up to here, get up to the colligative properties, then abnormal behavior, we are going to do it. Please read everything from the notes. Any doubt anyone will ask me next day. Next day we are going to solve the questions, numericals, everything, because the chapter is theoretically almost over. And then today is which day? Which date? Date is 30th April. Okay, so that is 7, 14. 14th, I am giving you 2 weeks time. 2 weeks time. 14th I am going to take a test on 2 chapters. These 2 chapters, solids and solution. 14th, I am giving you 2 weeks time. Okay, 14th I am going to take a test on solids and solution. Yes, is it clear? ठीक है?